It's 5:13 a.m. Friday, January 11th, 2013, and we're heading to Stockton, where I'm going to be a keynote speaker at the 6th Annual Anti-Violence Symposium. I used to do it for free, and I kept doing it for free, and then before you know it, I was speaking at migrant places in Spanish to moms with gang kids. I was speaking at schools. I was speaking to teachers, to gang task forces, and I was gone almost every day and just about every weekend. And my friend Gary Payton, who was actually my former parole agent, who became a personal friend of my family and me, he had said to me, you know, Daniel, that's good that you want to volunteer and give it away, but you know, you also need to be compensated, and that's what validates you as a professional. And you are a professional, Daniel. You are an expert in this because you have lived it, you have experienced it, you have survived it, and you have very good lessons to share with people on how they can help others.
Even murder by prison guards. Corcoran State Prison has been called the most violent prison in the nation. In the past 8 years, 50 prisoners have been shot and wounded by guards. 8 have been killed. And now there are allegations that guards have been literally playing with prisoners' lives. Here's ABC's Ken Kashiwahara.
It is where the most violent inmates are housed at Corcoran State Prison, the Security Housing Unit, or the SHU. According to former officers, the SHU was turned into a shooting gallery.
The violence was well beyond what any place should be. I would have an average of 1 to 5 shootings on my 8-hour shift.
Talbot and other former officers have broken ranks and charged that their fellow guards actually staged fights among rival gang members like roosters in a cockfight, then shot at them when they wouldn't stop fighting. One incident in April 1994. Videotape from a security camera shows Preston Tate and his cellmate, both black members of the Crips gang, being released into the exercise yard. A few minutes later, 2 Latinos from a rival gang are released into the yard and attack the Crips. A guard watching from a control tower fires a shot to break up the fight. It hits Tate in the head, killing him. Inmates here at Corcoran and even some guards had long complained about violent rival gang members being put together knowing they would fight. Until the Tate shooting, they say, their complaints were simply ignored. According to former prison officers and inmates, the staged fights and even wagering by guards were a way of life.
You're seeing an inmate in Corcoran SHU not only as a pawn to go out there and entertain the guards who are doing the shooting, who are actually, yes, placing bets on the fights out there.
Former Lieutenant Talbot says one guard even served as a fight announcer for what was called Gladiator Day.
Let's get ready to rumble. And then they would release two opposition gang members.
Corrections Department Director James Gomez says if allegations about staging fights at Corcoran are true, the guilty will be punished.
If staff members are telling you that that occurred, whoever did that should be disciplined and fired.
But the allegations have been around for years, and so far no guards have been disciplined for staging fights.
There was a lot of violence that was needless, and no one was stopping it. No one would listen to any of us. So I went outside of the state of California to the FBI and gave them evidence.
The FBI has been investigating for 2 years, but so far no one has been charged. And the policy of mixing violent prisoners from rival gangs remains in effect. Ken Kashiwahara, ABC News.
Testing.
Corcoran,
All right, you guys can hear me good. My name is Daniel Longoria. The reason that I was showing the slides earlier of my before and after tattoo pictures, and the reason I show this video is because I learned when I went and spoke at places, like I'd come up here dressed like this, sometimes wearing a tie, and I'd try to tell you my story, and people would be like, yeah, right, man, you never did any of that, look at you. You know, and it's just like I get to work with 300 kids or more today, and none of them have heard my story, so it's like, yes. And then it's like in another part of California. It's like the social model example that was given to me a long time ago is, social model means, imagine you're in a boat wreck. And in that boat wreck, you're the only one that knows how to swim. So as the boat wrecks and everybody's in the water holding on for dear life to something, you start teaching people how to swim. So now it's you and that person teaching two other people, and then from there two other people teaching two other people, and eventually, instead of you trying to save everybody, you teach others the same things you know, and together you help twice, 4 times, 5 times as many people. And so, can you imagine, I'm going to speak to over 300 kids, the social model concept. If I can help 10 kids get a different view of things, they can help 10 other kids, then those 20 kids. And you know, that's just, it's exciting to me. That's just like exciting. And that's why I do it, because I don't want people to go through what I went through. I don't want people to be 29 and a half years old in Pelican Bay and realize I've been doing this since I was 12 years old. What a ripoff. I'd like to say that the system fails, but if that was true, then I wouldn't be here, because there isn't a system failure, because the system is human. And if it's developed by humans to serve humans, you have to expect some margin of error.